This news program is proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Now Biscuits.
"24 witnesses for Paraka case summoned. Operation Open Heart and New Guinea partners. And DHERST holds GETSI training. A very good evening. This is National EMTV News. I'm Malcolm Waira. Thank you for joining us. Operation Open Heart and New Guinea today announced the success of the 2024 Provincial Pediatric Heart Patient Screening Program, highlighting its positive impact across the country.
Operation Open Heart has been providing cardiac services since 1993, and 2024 has been a successful year for the team, who've recorded over 725 cases across 13 provinces in Papua New Guinea. From the cases recorded, 33 required open heart surgeries, while 25 required closed heart surgeries. Corporate Affairs Director for Open Heart, Jane Hooker, said 9 surgeries were done successfully.
Training program to commence. So as soon as we received the machine, we didn't waste time. We kicked off. We kicked off with Alotau, and for Alotau alone, I think the pediatricians did 100 cases in in that space of 2 days. So some of these patients have been waiting for that 3 years. So we actually exceeded the number from 566 that was done in 2019. Last year, as Dr. Olita mentioned, 725 cases. So that's a huge number, and we can see the need for this program to continue.
Ms. Uka thanked one of its sponsors, Air New Guinea, who've been providing tickets for the Open Heart team who flew to provinces, and also uplifting life-saving medical equipment to help Papua New Guineans.
And whoever comes on board and says, hey, we'll take it on from here, and yes, Air New Guinea did, and we are very grateful. Without you, this program would not have reached the momentum that we are going in. We want to keep it going. We don't want to stop and start again because, of lack of support.
Chair Lady for Open Heart, Catherine Johnston, also shared a story on crucial assistance by Air New Guinea, who stepped in during an emergency and helped uplifted mechanical heart valves that were needed to be transported from Sydney to Port Moresby in 24 hours.
We appreciate it. Sure. Thank you. God bless.
Okay.
Thank you. Hello. Thank you.
Air New Guinea CEO Gary Seddon said it was an easy decision to support Open Heart because they play a vital role, which is to save lives.
As mentioned, last year's screening, 25 children were identified with serious heart conditions for closed heart surgery, and only 9 were able to travel for immediate surgery. And I'm pleased to announce that Air New Guinea will cover the travel costs for the children and the guardians of the 16 that haven't been able to get to Port Moresby, so we will cover that cost, and we will make sure that those 16 children get the closed heart surgery that they require. Our commitment to Operation Open Heart is not just about flying people around, but it's about connecting lives, and it's about delivering hope. We don't do all the work. These wonderful doctors do. And so I would like to take this opportunity to thank and congratulate the organizing committee under the chair for this fantastic initiative.
Mr. Seddon said the airline will continue to support Open Heart going forward. Pakatambua, National EMTV News.
A total of 24 state witnesses have been called to testify before Chief Justice Sir Gibbs Salika in the National Court regarding the Paraka scandal. Jacob Yafai, 42, from Yanguru Sausia, is on trial for his alleged role in the scandal.
As the former Deputy Secretary of Operations in the Department of Finance back in 2012 and 2013, he faces 4 counts of misappropriation and 1 count of abuse of office. EFI has pleaded not guilty to all charges. 2 witnesses, Miriam Kias, a former Department of Justice Secretary, and Sergeant Basi Sopota, have testified so far. However, 7 witnesses have since passed on. The case is linked to Paul Paraka, a senior lawyer convicted in 2024 for misappropriating 160 million kina in state funds through a alleged fraudulent scheme involving 65 checks and multiple law firms. Paraka was sentenced to 20 years in prison. Court proceedings will resume tomorrow as more witnesses take the stand. James Guken, National EMTV News.
In response to one of the daily's front page today, in regards to the PNG Power increase in tariff by 5%, Minister for State Enterprises William Duma, in a statement said in the interest of time and the welfare of the people, he has put on hold any price increases by PNG Power pending proper assessments.
Minister Duma said any price increase has been put on hold so that the independent power producers or IPPs can present their case in relation to the claims made against them. He said he understands that IPP are in the business of making profit. However, they will not be allowed to overcharge and impose unreasonable burden on the people. The State Enterprise Minister said he has received information revealing a number of addings that are being imposed by IPPs that are not the responsibility of PNG Power. Whilst appreciating the foreign investors in the country, Minister Duma said there is no free ride.
So you must understand.
He said following the current review of IPP input, they will introduce a new electricity rate that can be affordable by the community and will also be appropriate for IPPs and to maintain PNG as an attractive economy. Samantha Solomon, National EMTV News.
The management staff from the Department of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology are undergoing a 2-day workshop for gender equality and social inclusion at Holiday Inn in Port Moresby. The purpose of the event was to include GESI into the department to include gender equality and persons living with disabilities in their organization.
The first speaker for the workshop and Gender Equality and Social Inclusion Officer at the Department of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, Leonie Beam, explained on the importance of equality.
Equity is about fairness. It's about making sure people get access to the same opportunities. Sometimes our differences and our history can create barriers to participation, or we must first ensure equity before we can enjoy equality.
She said this sensitization workshop is important.
And mainstreaming, like today we have the sensitization workshop. It should be happening regularly at our management level down to every staff in the department. Understand GESI and how each one of us can contribute to the implementation of GESI through our various roles and responsibility.
One of the speakers, Franklin Kulukai, said gender equality has been seen in organizations. However, the challenge now is to look at persons with disability.
That are going into male-dominated fields already. So we've seen an increase in enrollment for that. So there's female opportunities and participation in the sector. The only challenge is how do we cater for those with disabilities? Have we done our part in terms of policy development and implementation at institutional levels?
Kulukai highlighted the type of work environment everybody is entitled to.
Environment that is free from discrimination and harassment. And we would like to create an environment that offers equal opportunities for all of us in terms of our career development and advancement. So as a public servant, we all want that for our agencies. And the policy already spells out the roles and responsibilities that each department's management team has to do. Now, you will note
Another speaker, Dr. George Bobby, highlighted the importance of equity.
It lies at the basis of our own ego and our own mindsets. It's something that is inside of us, and that's very, very hard to legislate. That is very, very hard to correct. And this, as leaders in your organization, and we want to lead in the higher education space, that is something that we will need to. Because for you to give that box away to another person so that that person can appreciate the same view you have will require humility on your part.
The workshop continued on the topic gases, sensitization and team building and will conclude tomorrow. Samantha Solomon, National EMTV News.
National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us.
Attention all students, parents and schools. The Smart Start School promotion is back for 2025. Your school could win a school grant worth 44,000 kina. Here's how. Collect 3 empty packets of Smart Start breakfast biscuits, write your name, number and school on an envelope, put the empty packets inside and drop them into an entry box at a registered school. The school with the highest number of valid entries in each region wins. 1,000 consolation prizes are also up for grabs. Register your school now with Paradise Foods Limited. Smart Start breakfast biscuit, proudly made by Paradise Foods.
You get big data and big value with Telecom Good Pillar mobile data plans. From only 3 kina, you get 1 gig for 24 hours. And for only 150 kina, you get 130 gigs over a whopping 30 days. And with loads of Good Pillar data plans to choose from, there's a small, medium or large plan to match your budget. Dial *777# to subscribe. Telecom, connecting you anywhere, anytime.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henow, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
The IPI Group is PNG's most innovative, dynamic and diverse logistics company, totally focused on delivering outstanding service. Our diversified divisions span from major warehousing, bulk fuel and road transport to large-scale commercial catering. The IPI Group of companies will be your partner, supplying tailor-made logistics solutions.
Japan's ODA, Official Development Assistance, started in 1954, and then today it covers more than 190 countries in the world.
Join us tonight at 7 as we hold discussions with the Japanese International Cooperation Agency.
So tomodachi means friendship in Japanese. So this is why we renamed this airport Nazabu Tomodachi International Airport.
That's on tonight. You're watching National EMTV News. BSP Financial Group Limited strongly denies claims regarding the alleged arrest of Group Chief Risk Officer Mike Hallinan. BSP Group Chief Executive Officer Mark Robinson said they completely deny the false and misleading reports currently circulating on social media regarding the alleged arrest of Mr. Mike Hallinan. The claims suggesting that Mr. Hallinan has been arrested and charged by the Australian Federal Police are entirely untrue and without basis. He said Mr. Hallinan has not been arrested, charged or implicated in any of the alleged offences mentioned in those false reports. The Melanesian Institute in Goroka launched training for grassroots journalists, which is an initiative that aims to equip local journalists with the essential skills needed to tackle critical social issues.
In a transformative leap for local journalism, the Melanesian Institute has successfully concluded a 2-day training program designed specifically for grassroots and church journalism, as well as representatives from local news organizations. This pioneering initiative aims to equip journalists with essential skills needed to tackle critical social issues, including gender-based violence, substance abuse, and complex realities of sorcery allegations. The program, which was concluded yesterday, emphasized the vital role of effective communication in addressing these pressing issues. Participants engaged in a series of dynamic interactive sessions, gaining invaluable reporting tools that enhance their ability to approach sensitive topics with confidence and responsibility. A standout feature of the training was its focus on ethical journalism practices, including fact-checking and sensitive storytelling techniques. The collaborative sessions created an open environment for journalists to share experiences and navigate the styles of reporting on delicate issues, collectively identifying best practices for responsible communication. The institution has reaffirmed its commitment to cultivating a new generation of journalists who are both skilled and passionate about driving positive societal change. Pakatambua, National EMTV News.
The students from Sogeri National School of Excellence displayed some of the models they have created while undergoing their STEM programs.
The students from the Sogeri National School of Excellence were among the schools that were there at the event. Their display of models were based on food security, and they have come up with stuff such as how to plan a farm using native plants to create medicines and producing stock feed from waste materials. This was elaborated by one of the STEM students, Mali Bora from Sogeri National School of Excellence.
My name is Mali Bora, and these are my friends who are representing Sogeri National School of Excellence. So we came up with this model as part of STEM education. The main theme that we came up with is food security. So most of our models represent food security, to maintain food security throughout.
He explained the meal that has been created to produce stock feed.
From farms such as tapioca, cocoa, and all that, instead of farmers going and spending money on stock feed, they could use these food scraps, goes in here, and then it grinds them. After the grinding process, it comes out as huge chunks, but then it goes through this second grinder, through a conveyor belt, and then it makes them into much smaller pieces. So then through this, it produces stock feed, which you can feed chickens, also fish, fisheries, and also other poultry and such. So this is a model. It's a working one, but it's actually very loud, so we cannot turn it on in here. So that's why it's.
Another student, young Maki Jr., highlighted that with PNG's rich and diverse biodiversity, the flora and fauna can be used to create medicines.
One thing that sets us apart from most of the countries is that we are diverse, in both flora and fauna. So we have used this as an advantage to compile a research on our plants, our country's plants, native plants. So what we've done is we've compiled research on, since our students are from most of the provinces around the country, we compiled research on how they use plants to cure some illness. So as we further our studies in chemistry and biology, we can we can use this knowledge to come back and maybe use identify what compounds are in those plants, and maybe we can solve some of the global problems like medicine.
Among the students, one of the female student, Helen Kappa, explained on a model that they have come up with which can cause the farmers less and do less harm to the atmosphere.
Directed roads, we use a hydraulic bridge, which can be shown here. This is how hydraulic bridge works, basing on Pascal's principle. And then, because it's cost effective and saves materials from wearing away, so you don't have to spend more money on the materials. And then over here on the livestock farm, we can use the waste from the animals to create biogas, which the biogas can be made into biofuel to fuel the farm machineries. This gives off less emission of methane to the atmosphere, and less greenhouse gases is produced, and it manages waste really well. Okay, so here we have a hydro dam. This hydro dam can be used to supply electricity to both the nearby relocated villages and the farm. So to the relocated villages, they also benefit, and you pay less royalty to the villages as well.
Alongside them were STEM students from Port Moresby National High School who were also there displaying their models as well. These students were given the opportunity by the Department of Education to display their models at the APEC House during Governor's consultative meeting today. Sumit Solomon, National EMTV News.
Secondary and technical schools in Jiwaka province will receive new printing machines to support their teaching and learning operations in schools.
A total of 23 schools, including 7 TVET schools or technical vocational education training schools, each received a new Recocopier printer machine. The schools can use the new machine to print, photocopy and scan teaching and learning materials for teachers and students. The machines are funded by the Jiwaka provincial government under the leadership of provincial member Simon Kaiwi at a cost of 690,000 kina. Jiwaka provincial education manager Andrew Cook acknowledges the consistent support from the provincial government, stating that the machines will save cost for the schools to print exam papers, school education calendars, textbooks, resource books and more, including administration work. Cook urged all schools to take ownership and ensure that the multi-purpose machine serves school purposes as they are fortunate to receive it. Lauren Jimal, National EMTV News.
The new Sengda hardware in Goroka has created more than 150 new jobs for the people of Eastern Highlands Province.
The company that began from its humble beginning with the retail and wholesale business and branched out to other parts of Papua New Guinea has now expanded in Goroka. Sengda Limited Managing Director Bobby Chen expressed his gratitude to the Eastern Islands people for providing support to the company from its establishment to date. Chen explained that the hardware has 500 employees in its shop throughout the country and it is a milestone achievement for the company. He thanked the stakeholders from both private and public sectors for their undivided support. Eastern Highlands Governor Simon Sia congratulated the management and staff of the Sengda Group of companies for achieving a milestone achievement. Sia said it is the strength of their dedication and perseverance that has paid off, and for the company's contribution to providing employment opportunities for locals, social obligation to support community activities, and the development of the province and country as a whole through GST payments. Lauren Jimal, National EMTV News.
Now we take a look at the NES Fund Market Report. The kina closed unchanged at $0.2487 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, Euro kina was buying $0.2412, $0.3802 Australian dollars, $0.2148 euro, 35.25 Japanese yen. Looking at the commodity prices at New York close, gold is trading lower, coffee closed lower, cocoa closed higher, copra closed higher, palm oil closed higher, crude oil is trading higher, copper closed higher. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, the S&P 200 is trading higher, the ordinaries is trading higher. National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us.
Share the love with Gullah Ice Cream, Gullah Cone Ice Creams, Gullah Stick Ice Creams, and Gullah Classic Tub Ice Creams. Happiness begins with the Gullah range of fun flavors which create taste adventures and excitement with every bite. Treat yourself. Share with a friend while chilling. The whole family will enjoy. Everyone has their favorite. Which one is yours? Share the love with Gullah Ice Creams.
Gullah, Gullah, yum.
Dear son, you ask me how I live such a good life. Yes, I've had some good luck, like the day I met your mother. But it wasn't always that way. I've made some good choices too, like working hard and keeping my super with NASFAN. They looked after it for me, which meant I could concentrate on looking after my family. Living each day, knowing that when the time came, I'd be ready for tomorrow. Love, Dad.
Enjoy more talk, more text, and more time online with Telecom More Bundles. Choose from 8 plans ranging from 3 kina with 600 megabytes of data all the way up to 75 kina, loaded with a massive 35 gig. Best of all, each plan comes with an unlimited on-network call minutes plus on-net and off-net talk and text. That's way more time to chat with family and friends. Telecom More Bundles. Top up now.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henao, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
Meet the bank for everyone, everywhere. As People's Microbank, we were proud to be a bank for the people. Now as National Banking Corporation, we are bringing modern banking to all in Papua New Guinea. With more branches and our friendly staff ready to assist you in more places, we are making money matters simple and fair. So wherever you are, however you say it, say hello better banking. Learn more at nbcpng.com.pg.
Join me on House and Home for all your home and lifestyle improvements.
Everything business Lomino. Okay, boss rate Lomi, Kaiket Lomi.
From Hatok Mom, health and fitness, interest stories, gardening tips, out and about, pet care, and many more. Join me every Tuesday 7 p.m. on your number one to watch, EMTV.
We're back with National EMTV News. Lay's 3 Mile community will now benefit and have access to the new Early Library Learning Center located at the St. Stephen Elementary School. The facility was opened recently by the Chow Foundation and partners like Bugbilon Pikinini.
With the common aim to see improved early childhood education in PNG, the Lay Biscuit Company, through its charity arm, the Chow Foundation, in partnership with non-profit organization Bugbilon Pikinini, have delivered a new early library learning center to the 3 Mile community in Lay. The facility will serve the community with early childhood literacy, digital learning and interactive storytelling sessions, ensuring children develop a love for reading and learning from an early age. Highlighting the significance of the project, Mr. Chow said it has been key to be working with organizations who have been proven to be successful in delivering results.
We're providing a foundation for children who don't have access to quality education. Literacy is a big issue here in PNG, and I know government is working towards increasing that. But I think what's most important is that we're able to work and partner with organizations that are, that they are able to deliver projects such as this. So I think we're very grateful at the Chow Foundation that we're working with an excellent partner such as with and at the Pukpedong Pikinini, and we're able to hold everything accountable for everything we're doing.
He said the aim is to set a strong foundation towards child's learning ability.
I think it's the foundation for all things to do with learning. I grew up learning how to read books at a young age, and I found how helpful that was for me moving onwards. Being able to read very well at a young age gave me an advantage in everything. That's why the Chow Foundation puts emphasis on early childhood learning, so that the kids are given that opportunity to be able to really learn more in the future.
Witnessing the occasion, Provincial Education Advisor Kit Tangui remarked that the launch demonstrated what stakeholder partnership can achieve.
And good community. They're coming very good. They're taking an active lead in making sure that these things happen. So I'm very proud of what they're doing, and I challenge them if they can continue further with some of the communities around Lake, so we can have more of this bookwork community.
Meanwhile, the Learning Center currently caters for over 80 children during its morning session and over 200 during the afternoon. With over 40 partners, Bukbilong Pikinini is committed to promoting literacy and bridging education gap in the country. Lauren Jimal, National MTV News.
Moving to overseas news, in Australia, multiple emergency warnings are in place for southeast Queensland as well as parts of New South Wales.
Well, here in Brisbane, the rain has been non-stop for well over 24 hours now. It has been pretty much relentless. At some stages, it was driving down in sheets, it was sideways. Other times, just a few spots around, but pretty much there's been no clear air at all. It has just been non-stop rain. So, in fact, since 9 a.m. yesterday, Brisbane's recorded more than 275 millimetres of rain. And as a result of that, we have seen a lot of flash flooding. So this road behind me, Newmarket Road at Windsor, as you can see, 2 cars became trapped in those floodwaters. Now, these waters have in fact receded somewhat, but we were here this morning when one driver drove into those floodwaters, managed to get out of their car and wade to safety, but they were in waist-deep water. Emergency crews then came to check they were okay and also to check the other car that we're told has been there since last night. Also, a block behind me, we've got streets that are blocked, people trapped in their houses, creek beds completely overflowing, swamping not just the streets but also the nearby parks. They've pretty much turned into rivers as well. So as this is happening, so the danger certainly is not over yet, as that is happening, we're also seeing a lot of services resume today as normal. So supermarkets started to reopen yesterday. What we're seeing though is milk and bread absolutely flying off the shelves, so some shelves are empty. Schools are reopening, but we've still got quite a few hundred closed, so more than 700 remain closed. So about 400 or so have reopened today. Those that are staying closed are as a result of power outages or storm damage, or simply because it's too dangerous to get into those schools. And in Brisbane itself, we're seeing buses resume at a limited timetable though, sticking to the Sunday timetable. And of course, for some of those bus routes, they will be hampered by these floodwaters that we're seeing across Brisbane. So as the rain should ease during the day, we're still going to be seeing a lot of those floodwaters and dangers around. So as always, make sure you watch ABC and keep abreast of all those warnings on ABC Local Radio and of course all the emergency services as well.
Pope Francis has missed Sunday prayers for the 4th weekend in a row as he continues to battle pneumonia in hospital.
Well, Pope Francis hasn't been seen by the public for more than 3 weeks now, and he was again absent from his usual Sunday weekly prayer service. The Vatican says he instead spent the day participating in Mass in the chapel connected to his hospital room and continuing his treatment, as after his doctors provided some positive news. They say that he's responding well to treatment and he's been showing signs of improvement in recent days. He is still receiving oxygen. However, he's also incorporated physical therapy into his treatment. That's to ensure he maintains mobility during this extended hospital stay. The Pontiff was initially admitted to Rome's Gemelli Hospital on February 14 with bronchitis. He's now battling pneumonia in both of his lungs. In a post on social media, he paid tribute to volunteers who help the sick. He described their work as a miracle of tenderness that brings a little light into a night of pain. Now that the Pontiff's condition has stabilised for a number of days, we aren't receiving as many medical updates. However, his doctors are yet to provide a prognosis. They say it's because his condition is complex and they're not confident to say that he's out of danger yet.
Canada's ruling Liberal Party has voted Mark Carney as the successor to Prime Minister Justin Trudeau.
Mark Carney is best known as a central bank chief. He led the central bank both in Canada but also in the United Kingdom. So he's entering, he says, as a relative political newbie, coming in from outside the parliament. He won't actually have a seat, which is why, in part, he is expected to call an election soon. He's really campaigned hard on being the best equipped to deal with the threat of Donald Trump. Donald Trump completely reshaped Canadian politics since he retook power here in the United States with his repeated attacks, both on the current Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, but also with his ambition, it seems, to actually incorporate Canada as the 51st state of the United States. At first, most people thought he was joking, but given his repeated claims that this was possible and that he believes it was best for the people of Canada, it's suddenly taken on the air of something that he might have genuine ambition for. But even more important in that equation is Donald Trump's willingness to use economic coercion to put pressure on Canada. There have been repeated threats to lob massive sweeping tariffs on Canadian imports into the United States. And although we have seen that timeline repeatedly pushed out, the threat is real for the people of Canada, and it is a threat that could end with the recession in that country, given how interlocked those two countries' economies are. So Mark Carney says he's best equipped to deal with it, but he also says he'll be able to do good things when it comes to the housing crisis that Canada is experiencing, very similar to what is being experienced in Australia, and also cost of living. The question, of course, is how he will go from being outside politics into full campaign mode. Just like in Australia, the ruling party does have some flexibility when it comes to when to call the general election. It has to be called by October, though, and there is this expectation that Mark Carney will call it soon. But what we have seen since Donald Trump's elevation is Canadians rally around the ruling Liberal Party. They have taken to this posture of being the opposition to Donald Trump with enthusiasm, and it seems to be received enthusiastically by the people of Canada.
National EMTV News continues after the break with Chukai Sports. Stay with us.
Welcome to Kokopo Beach Bungalow Resort in the heart of Kokopo. Nestled along the coastline with breathtaking views of the islands and volcanoes, we invite you to share this tropical island paradise with us. For your next business trip, leisure or marine adventure, call Kokopo Beach Bungalow Resort to discuss your escape on 982-8788 or visit us on www.kbb.com.pg. Escape, explore, enjoy.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Hennell, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always Trukai. Trukai, true inspiration through generations.
Are you tired of standing in those long lines to get your jackpot tickets? Guess what? You never have to with Telecom USSD jackpot ticket purchase. Simply dial *321#, follow the prompts, and you are set for your jackpot draw. It's as easy as 3, 2, 1. Telecom PNG, connecting you anywhere, anytime.
Dear son, you ask me how I live such a good life. Yes, I've had some good luck, like the day I met your mother. But it wasn't always that way. I've made some good choices too, like working hard and keeping my super with NASFAN. They looked after it for me, which meant I could concentrate on looking after my family, living each day knowing that when the time came, I'd be ready for tomorrow. Love, Dad.
I'm Martha, and each week on Kai Time, we'll introduce you to local food businesses showcasing their delicious dishes. The pasta, the white sauce. Plus, you will discover how to make tasty and affordable meals using ingredients from your local markets. Tune in to Kai Time every Wednesday at 7 p.m. right here on your number one to watch, EMTV.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. In the private company's netball competition yesterday, Pacific Industries beat Theodist 14-7 points.
Reflecting with the positive spirit of the sport, Theodist 1 captain Manu Becker thanked her management for the support and notes improvement for next season.
We will improve. That gave the loss to our team today is silly passes. Those are very minor mistakes that cost us our game. We are looking forward to correct all those mistakes to go into the next grand final to win the game.
Last weekend saw the grand finalist games for the private company's netball competition. James Gukan, Trukai Sports.
As part of the Australian Defence Force Pacific Sports Program being carried out in Papua New Guinea this week, ADF Australian rules coaches, including facilitator Trooper Lachlan Ireland, took sports training to Tediro Primary School.
The Australian Defence Force visited a local military school at the Murray Barracks, the Tediro Primary School in Port Moresby recently. A total of 400 very disciplined and skillful kids kicked the footy around with the coaches and were just really excited. This was part of ADF's Pacific Sports Program in PNG. The Soldiers have also conducted a first aid training program at the Surgeon Guy Stadium. A first aid course included CPR, defibrillator use, and managing basic injuries like asthma and allergic reactions. Beyond medical training, participants engaged in coaching and referee courses, highlighting the importance of sportsmanship and community leadership. Samantha Solomon, Trukai Sports.
Trukai Sports continues after the break. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
They're gold nuggets. There's a flavor for everyone. The best tasting snack. Get a burst of gold nuggets. Cheese flavor.
Mega wow.
Chicken flavor.
Mega wow.
Cheese onion flavor.
Mega wow.
Barbecue flavor. Mega wow.
When you're on the go. One more. One more.
Get that burst of Gold Nuggets flavor.
Mega wow.
Remember the joy of playing with your toys as a child? At Money Plus, we believe that every small business deserves a chance to build and grow. That's why we offer asset financing.
Now chance to building something new, to see a different point of view. With Money Plus we're ready to go.
Bipla Halivim Wari Belong You.
The IPI Group is PNG's most innovative, dynamic, and diverse logistics company, totally focused on delivering outstanding service. Our diversified divisions span from major warehousing, bulk fuel and road transport, to large-scale commercial catering. The IPI Group of companies will be your partner, supplying tailor-made logistics solutions.
You get big data and big value with Telecom Goodpilla mobile data plans. From only 3 kina, you get 1 gig for 24 hours. And for only 150 kina, you get 130 gigs over a whopping 30 days. And with loads of Goodpilla data plans to choose from, there's a small, medium or large plan to match your budget. Dial *777# to subscribe. Telecom, connecting you anywhere, anytime.
Japan's ODA, Official Development Assistance, started in 1954, and then today it covers more than 190 countries in the world.
Join us tonight at 7 as we hold discussions with the Japanese International Cooperation Agency.
So tomodachi means friendship in Japanese. So this is why we renamed this airport Nazabu Tomodachi International Airport.
That's on tonight.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henao, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
We're back with True Guy Sports. Moving to overseas sports, one of the highest scores in the NRL history has wrapped up with last year's runners-up, the Melbourne Storm, thrashing the Parramatta Eels 56-18 in Melbourne.
The hosts ran in 8 tries in the first half, including 2 each for Ryan Pappenhausen and Xavier Coates. The big win extends the Storm's extraordinary record of opening round victories to 23 seasons.
Yeah, it was a good turnout. Pretty warm conditions here, and Cameron Munster, he's like he's up in central Queensland just running around like a kid in the backyard. So, yeah, it was different conditions to what we're used to down here in Melbourne, but really enjoyable the way we put a performance on like that in round 1.
Still in the NRL, St. George Illawarra has apologized to a Bulldogs fan who experienced what they call antisocial behavior.
The Bulldogs defeated the Dragons 28-20 at Jubilee Stadium, and afterwards a video circulated on social media of a fan wearing Dragons colours throwing a meat pie at a Bulldogs fan. In a statement released by the club, the Dragons apologised to the fan and said they'll work with the NRL in relation to a breach of the Spectator Code of Conduct.
That ends True Guy Sports. The Money Plus weather report is next. Stay with us.
True Guy Sports. True Guy Sports.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henao, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
Are you tired of standing in those long lines to get your jackpot tickets? Guess what? You never have to with Telecom USSD jackpot ticket purchase. Simply dial *321#, follow the prompts, and you are set for your jackpot draw. It's as easy as 3, 2, 1. Telecom PNG, connecting you anywhere, anytime.
Dear son, you ask me how I live such a good life. Yes, I've had some good luck, like the day I met your mother. But it wasn't always that way. I've made some good choices too, like working hard and keeping my super with NAS Fund. They looked after it for me, which meant I could concentrate on looking after my family. Living each day, knowing that when the time came, I'd be ready for tomorrow. Love, Dad.
Attention all students, parents and schools. The Smart Start School promotion is back for 2025. Your school could win a school grant worth 44,000 kina. Here's how. Collect 3 empty packets of Smart Start breakfast biscuits, write your name, number and school on an envelope, put the empty packets inside and drop them into an entry box at a registered school. The school with the highest number of valid entries in each region wins. 1,000 consolation prizes are also up for grabs. Register your school now with Paradise Foods Limited. Smart Start breakfast biscuit, proudly made by Paradise Foods.
Join me every Thursday night as Sportscene brings to you all the local and international sporting updates. Revisiting our legendary athletes.
Hi, this is David Mead.
Highlighting our local sports developments across the nation.
All eyes on Auckland. Now an NRL team based here.
To create a pathway.
And our talented rising stars.
Hi, my name's Gemma Schnobel and you're watching
all the younger ones should follow.
Sportscene, Thursday nights at 7 p.m. only on your number one to watch, EMTV.
Remember the joy of playing with your toys as a child? At Money Plus, we believe that every small business deserves a chance to build and grow. That's why we offer asset financing.
Now chance to building something new, to see a different point of view. With Money Plus we're ready to go.
Nipla halivim wari belong you.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by Money Plus, with you always.
The weather report for the next 24 hours. For the southern region, Port Moresby City becoming cloudy with occasional evening showers and rain and thunderstorms. Dauro occasional showers, rain and thunderstorms, then cloudy. Kerama occasional showers and rain and thunderstorms, then cloudy. Alotau partly cloudy with few showers tonight. Popondetta cloudy with few evening showers and rain and possible thunderstorms.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by Money Plus, with you always.
And that wraps up the news, sports and weather for Monday, the 10th of March, 2025. From all of us here, pleasant viewing. Good night.
This news program was proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Gold Nuggets.
It's Smile O'Clock. It's Smile O'Clock. Gotta brush our teeth. Time o'clock. It's Smile O'Clock. Smile O'Clock. Time o'clock. So brush, brush, brush. Everybody is up. Everybody now brush, brush, brush.
Coming up next at 7 p.m. in Focus. At 7:30 p.m.,